Hello everyone. I'll show you now how to make a residual plot and calculate the residual values using your CAS calculator. So if you remember what were residuals, so the residual values, they are in chapter 4, 4.4. So the residual values are over here, the distance between the actual data point and the predicted value. So as you know, when we do some predictions with the scatter plots, we draw a line of best fit, we draw the line of regression, and based upon the closest distance of those points with that line, we find the residual. So what is residual? It is just the distance between the actual data point and the predicted value. So the point on this line over here and that value, the distance, so that is a residual. Okay, so the formula for that is data value, which is given the actual minus the predicted value. So if we look at this point over here, so the residual is 3, like 6 when x equals 3. So you can just predict it from here. So the actual value is that 6 and the predicted value is about like 3.5, like that. Okay, so you can find it that on the graph. So the data value that lie above the least square line will have positive value because this is that value, take away that value. But if you look at down the points, so the actual value will be lower than the predicted. So that's why you get a negative value as well. So remember the formula, the residual value is data value, take away the predicted value on the line of the regression. So I'll show you now the CAS steps. So if you go here, so with my previous data, so you need to enter your data first. And then you need to just calculate your least square line of regression first. I'm changing it and I know it's in the C. Okay, so there you go. So you got all the values here. And if you go down on the, here are your residual values. Can you see here? So these are your residual values. You can also make another column for residuals here in column C. You can get all these values over here. How? By just going on the formula bar of C and clicking it here. And then go to variable point in here. And you will see the stat1 residual, so like that one. If you have multiple data regression lines already there a few times and you didn't delete the data, then it may be stat2, 3, as you can see mine, so many different ones. So you need to make sure you delete all the data and make sure which current page you are on. For me, it's stat1 residual, so I'll select that and enter. Okay, so you can see the same data values I'm getting next to those points here. Okay, so my residuals, which were showing over here, you can see these are the same values I have got next to the numbers here. So in the C column, I got all my residuals here. That's the one thing of finding the residual values. Now the second thing, how to draw the residual plots. So you may have seen some examples in your books for that. So in the exam, you may be asked to make a residual plot. So how would you do that? So first of all, you need to find the residuals as we have already found here. Like here, we already got them. Then for the residual plot, you just need to go to your control doc and add data statistics. So you will see all your points here. Now remember, this one is your x-axis, that was your temperature. And in here, you will need to have your residuals, not your y-axis, because you are making the residual predictions with your y-axis. So that's your stat1 residual or stat2, depending upon your CAS calculator. Okay, so that's your residual plot. All right, so you can see here, so that's what we have made. Now, sometimes you need to predict data in terms of residual. So how can you have the residual plot and a least square line of best fit there as well. So the first step for that is to create a normal scatter plot. So if I go back to here, my original data, and I have to create a scatter plot. So I go to, again, control and doc, add data statistics, and the original one, I knew my data, it's temperature x-axis, and this one is number. So you can see that there, right? So that's our first step here. Now you need to draw the line of best fit. So you go to your menu, analyze, regression, then in here. So there is your line of best fit, all right? So now after that, you need to add your residual plot to it. So you again go to your menu, analyze. Now this time you need to select the residuals from here and then the residual plot. So you can see it's here. Okay. You can see here as well, the same thing. All right. So hope that makes sense, and make sure you finish the revision Google form. Bye.